Welcome, Earth Signs, to the mystery. I am Matt. I am a psychic medium, I'm an eclectic witch, and my practices range from Victorian spiritualist practice all the way to Zen Buddhist philosophy and teaching. I dabble in a little bit of everything. But what I absolutely love to do is provide divinatory practices that you may not see every single day, to give a little bit of clarity from a perspective that we might not otherwise have. So today I have our charm casting forecast for the week of June 12th through June 19th of 2022. And this one is for Earth signs. Again, I'd encourage you that if you like this content, to like, comment, subscribe, share. All of it boosts the interaction with this channel and therefore gets these readings out to people who may need to hear them. So the more that the video is interacted with, the more people like and subscribe, the more the algorithm will pick things up and bring these messages to where they need to go. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with our Earth signs reading for June 12th through June 19th. For Earth signs for the week of June 12th through June 19th, 2022. Okay, let's kick this off here real fast with our significator arrow pointing to our stork, which is upside down, and right over that is our clover, which has everything to do with luck and abundance. So you may feel like you are sort of coming out of a streak of, or like a rut, like a streak of bad luck or a rut, as to where immediately you are wondering if there was any possibility of having a new start. So this gives me heavy uncrossing vibes, like you've been doing some uncrossing work, or some of the energies have not been letting up and they are starting to be uncrossed here. Right next to our abundance that is coming in, because we're seeing past all of the not necessarily having many new fresh energies. Right past the not being able to see any of the new fresh energies, our abundance is right next to the home, and it sort of looking up and looking out, branching out and dealing with more of the social close to the home. So you may find yourself not necessarily reaching out to more people, but more people coming to you in the next week. And that's totally fine, especially after, a run of wondering, gosh, how can I get through this next week? How can I get through this next day or even this next hour? Sometimes you want people to come to you because that means that is less energy that you have to expend for yourself. Let's see here. And right next to the social and the home extending itself out, I'm almost seeing that you're going to be getting some messages, and it could definitely be from this video, but besides that as well, you're getting some messages that are showing you you're needing to be more loyal to your intuition, more loyal to your feminine side, more loyal to your emotions, the water element, and sort of take you out of that earthy side for just a bit. I know I even struggle with this. I am having to work in the water element a lot more these days so I can flow a little bit better with what's going on. And when it comes to anything, any of your manifestations, any of your seeds that you've planted, any of the things that you can celebrate and sort of, it gives me the very much, I'm seeing people clinking their drinks at a party kind of energy. You can get out of the internalization of that, because that it seems like that may be starting to manifest a little bit more and needing to get out of that only internal view of it. You can have everything in the world if you love yourself internally, but if you're not doing anything externally to show yourself that love as well, if you keep holding yourself back from that, then you might as well not have the internal. You have to have that balance as well. Next week, I see commitment coming in or needing to come in towards our vitality, and much more vital energies coming in. Right next to our passions are hitting their death card moment. They're hitting you're ending things with your passions in a sense to where I'm hearing we're cutting the bullshit. Directly from that, we are cutting the energy that does not serve us to start a new beginning within our passions, and that involves not seeing or turning over all of those negative or oppressive energies that we feel. If it comes up in our brain, cool, we can acknowledge it, but we have to let it go so we can process through that and manifest something greater. Right next to our death card moment, and right underneath all of that, is your emotions and more of that oppressive energy that pervades the air like old lady's perfume. A couple spritz of it and it will go everywhere and cake everything. I feel like in regards to this death card energy, these new beginnings coming out of maybe harsh or painful endings, whether physically or more emotionally, the death card endings are coming directly from and out of the need to acknowledge and need to sift through hard emotions about ending cycles and coming into new cycles. And your grounding will come definitely from relying on the knowledge, the study that you put in, the time you put in into your own self-development. And underneath that, realizing that any of the mental chatter it can only go as far as you let it. So if you feed your mental chatter with positive things, it doesn't mean it has to stop, right? It's kind of like how some energies within like chaotic systems can be helpful, but they can also be harmful as well. So if you're constantly feeding yourself anxious sort of thoughts that are super chattery and if they're positive, that may be helpful to move you through positive energies very quickly and manifest very quickly. It's that self-starting energy. But again, if you don't manifest those things in a positive way, then they can only go as far as you let them. Underneath that death card moment and all that oppressive energy and all that needing to sift through those emotions comes confusion, and it's pointing away from that. So I see you coming out of the confusion and being awakened to more aspects that you may needed to see in this situation. Most of that probably external. Let's see, right next to your unlock moment. Your unlock moment is turning away right now from passionately working with the inner child and making decisions through the inner child. So I feel like you've already worked through a lot of that energy. You've already worked through a lot of your inner child energy. You've already worked passionately through that to make decisions based on your joy, and you're coming out of that and using that, fueling that, and utilizing that to be the key that unlocks the next doors. A lot of your intuition and your spirituality and is settled right around your hopes and dreams, backing that unlock moment. And that right there goes to show you exactly how powerful you can be if you're channeling, all right, I've already done this work. I've already made these decisions. Here's my passions and my spirituality and all my intuitions that's been knocking me over the head almost for the last, I don't know, couple months maybe. And channeling that through that unlock moment, that key. It's finding that key. And what is that key? And you will know that. It's not something, that's something that I feel like I can't give you, but you're going to have to figure out yourself. And I feel like you already have hints or knowledge towards that. You may be getting some traveling energies coming up in the next week as well. That could be physical travel, but that also could be traveling away from your obstacles. And maybe even seeing a couple of barriers and blockages that you have and healing them in a way that is almost going around them. It's like you're walking away from that barrier or that blockage in a way where you don't have to destroy it entirely to get over it, but you're walking away from it in a sense. But you're going around it. And again, it could be physical travel involved with that as well. And that's coming definitely out of a masculine energy. You are utilizing that masculine energy to physically pick yourself up and walk around it. Right now, you're being almost pushed to cut things out very intentionally, very powerfully, and very passionately. And I'm seeing nothing coming out of that cutting out. That doesn't mean that you're going to have nothing to cut out in the next weeks, but what I'm seeing is I consider this the void. When my scissors charm, my scythe card, is not pointing to anything, it's almost like there's a void. There's so it's you do what you will with it. Whether you fill that void with toxic things that you can cut out, or whether you use it to manifest positivity, could be up to you entirely. I don't think I'm going to be skipping any right here. This will be a shorter reading, in which I consider sometimes shorter readings to be a little bit better because it means we have a lot less to deal with. All right, and our sun card energies, our comfort, our joy, our radiant joy is right next to the fox overturned. So I'm being led to say that you're going to have more intentional comfort, more intentional joy. You won't have to, sort of convince yourself as much that you're joyful. That fake it till you make it type of energy. I feel like you faked it till you make it for a while now. And you're sort of hitting those points where you're starting to believe yourself. That, oh my goodness, I can have joy. I do deserve joy. Telling yourself, I deserve this. I'm worthy of this. I was just in a class, lovely class today in University of Magicus with Kadrick Olson. I am worthy of this. I deserve this. Telling ourselves that so we don't end up our own blockages. And I think that's super important. Overall, I see a good outlook for this next week for you, Earth signs. It is what you make of it. It truly is. So try to make joy of it. Try to make joy of it. I do hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope you could take and glean all kinds from it. And I will see you next week.